Everybody, welcome back to Grow Your Green. It's been a while, sorry about that, but there's been a lot of changes in the garden, so I'm gonna go ahead and update you on them. We'll start out here because this is the first thing I want to point out. In one of our earlier videos, I mentioned how my husband had just like chopped a piece of the tomato off and I stuck it in the pot and I didn't think it was gonna grow. Well, it has grown and it's actually starting to produce. So here's the first one, and they're actually both producing now. So they both have one tomato on them right now, and then they have multiple flowers, so those will probably turn in tomatoes. That's exciting. So we have some surprise carrots. We noticed that the other day, so that's interesting. And then I might pull these peach flowers just because they're not doing super well, and I'll show you some really cool ones in the back that are doing a lot better. And we got our marigolds, of course, and then this is our carrots. I'd mentioned in another video that our dogs had stepped on this side, so that's full. The carrots are doing great on that. And then these are our potatoes. We actually replaced this little birdie that we have. We just put her in there as well. And then this is our herb garden. So we had some really huge butterflies the other day. That was really exciting, and they seem to go on most of the lighter color flowers. So this is our peach edible flower here. Of course, our mint, and then our lemon thyme is also flowering. We don't know what this is. We're gonna have to Google that. We've just been letting it grow. Our peach trellis, but before I talk about this, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the sunflower. It's actually starting to flower, so you can see at the top the yellow sunflower, and then another one of them right beside it is going to bloom soon. So that's really exciting. I'll have to show you the tall ones in the back. Those ones are not flowering, but they're huge. This is our peach trellis. I've actually done some maintenance work on it. I've noticed that we really enjoy the yellow beans. So it's a bushier bean, it's over here, and it literally has yellow beans that you harvest off of it. I don't see any currently. Oh, here's one. And we love these. They're really good. They're kind of sticky when they're not ready, and then once they're ready to harvest, they become kind of more solid. It's a baby something. So this is my yellow beans over here. They actually have purple flowers, and then they turn into the yellow bean. This all used to be peas, but I ended up pulling those so that way these would have a little bit more room to grow. And then these are our Kentucky Wonders. We absolutely love them. This is actually only 2 plants. Kind of impressed. That's something I learned this year about peas, is that if you allow them to spread out, they will. So if you look over here, I kind of threw some seeds down and saw how they grow. They've been growing out. They kind of bend. They didn't do super well, all of them, just because they don't have enough space. And so that's something I learned for next year, is to kind of spread my peas out a little bit so that they can get that full potential. I have some that I could pull here. So we pull them when the beans look kind of big and fluffy, and then I pull the spine out of them before I cook them. Which, what I say when I mean that is, if you break this, then you'll see kind of a spine go all the way down the bean. I just pull that before I cook it, and there's one on the other side too, and then I'll just break it into like thirds and cook it like that. Ooh, there was a buggy on that one, sorry. It's like a little ladybug.
Where you go next?
Oh, sorry. I just had to pull some peas. This is another sunflower that we planted beside our onions. We tried to transplant some things in and they didn't take very well, so we're probably gonna fill this bed back up this week. I'm 5'4", and so the plant is a little bit taller than me. This is probably 5'6". It's almost 6 feet tall, and this is actually one of our smaller sunflowers, which is really impressive. These are potatoes which are coming back. I've replanted. I know you're really not supposed to, but sorry, I did it anyways. These are our sweet potatoes, which are growing. You see that they're vining out here, so that's exciting. Where we live, they were only supposed to grow for 1 month out of the season, and we missed it, so we just went ahead and tried to see what it would do. And it is growing. It's growing a little bit slower, but I'm happy with it. I hope we get some. Our sweet pea flower, it also vines. She doesn't really have a lot of space to go, but she's covering our whole fence, so I'm hoping that she follows our fence line that way. But we'll see. It's kind of cool because she actually does produce peas. Once the flowers die, there's like little peas that come up. These are not edible, but they are peas. Right beside that is our collard greens, and they are getting torn up. It's no longer a leaf. Like, it is gone. So that's kind of sad. But
On to the next.
yeah. But anywho, this is our asperbrock. It's doing really well. I'm probably gonna harvest it in the next couple days and just eat it. I love it. My husband actually asked me the other day, did we ever eat that asperbrock that we harvested? So we'll definitely plant some more of this next year. This is also a sunflower. Like I said, the other one's small. Once again, 5 foot. Jink, it's up there. So there's that. This is our corn though, as well, taller than I am, which is really awesome. Some of the stalks are still nice and moist, and then some of them, this is something we had to Google. These might be ready. Because you can see that the stalks have kind of dried up a little bit. Tried it all the way across, and basically because our corn was starting to fall. Once again, I live in a super windy state, and some of them did really well and some of them were falling, so we just wanted to support them a little bit, so we just did 1 wire, and it seems to be working. Most of them are still standing. So that'll lead me to my sunflowers. Can you see me over here?
A little bit.
These are our giants, our gentle giants. I'm obsessed with them. But if I get in here, let me see if I can not step on our strawberries. Do you have that, cameraman?
Sheesh.
Can you see? I literally can't even like reach up there. This is as high as my hand goes. So these ones are not flowering yet, but they are humongous. Very exciting. We might get a different angle for that in just a second. These are our strawberries. What's really cool about strawberries is that they will send out shoots. So here's one. Here's a shoot. This is our strawberry plant right here. It's sending out a shoot all the way across here. It's finding dirt, and then it produces another strawberry plant. So if we wanted to, we could come and redo our strawberries and put dirt in between, and they would actually start taking off even more. They have not been producing a lot, and I'm not sure if that's because they've gotten more shade, but you can see here's a strawberry. We are still getting a couple a day, so I'm not going to complain. I also think that something's eating them before we can get out here. It's a big bird. It's got something. There's leaves everywhere. Oh my god, that thing is so big. Like how big our watermelons are. Here's one. I believe these are the sugar babies. And here's another one. It looks kind of funny, but she's growing good. You can see our trellis is starting to lean. here. I don't want to move it too much. So we're gonna come and reinforce that within the next couple of days. But our watermelon is producing, and that's really exciting. We also have these ones back here. They've not started to flower yet. These are jubilees. There might just be too much shade right now. We might have to cut off a branch, which we've been talking about. These are the jubilees. They're doing great, but I think they're getting too much shade from the tree. That's my professional diagnosis. I'm just kidding. And if you see here, we have little bitty, oh, our big guy. These are little melon musks, which are not getting very much bigger than this, so not sure what that is. We might have had too much rain. We have been having a decent amount of rain lately. Something might be eating them. I don't know. Some big ones though. Hopefully we'll have something to show off on that soon. But you can see all the little ones. I'm gonna walk through some of those. We no longer go through this aisle. I can't fit through there, so I'm gonna go on the other side. Okay. These are our tomato plants. One thing I learned about them is that I grew them too close together. Some of them are bush, which is good. So they're not as big, not as wide, but you can definitely see that some of them are almost as tall as me, right beside another plant that's almost as tall as me. So that's something we'll watch for next year. But they've been producing really well. I don't think I have any ones that are red right now. I did harvest quite a lot. Like I said, I have some family and friends come over, so we were really just trying to That's pretty red. It's pretty good. We were trying to give some to them, so we pulled some of the ones that were closer, and usually we would wait until they were red to pull them. So we've kind of skipped a week on how many tomatoes we've gotten, but that's okay. Next is our okra, and if you go back to last videos to this video's growth is absolutely insane. I do see some breakage here, and the reason for that, we might just go ahead and trim that, babe. The reason for that is that we had a really big windstorm, and most of them did excellent. I'm super proud of them, but every now and then we got a leaf or two that came off. We have some okra that are absolutely humongous, so we're gonna actually go, and we have to do our research too. I don't even know how to pull it. How do I pull it?
Cut it, probably. Or snap it. I don't know. Twist it.
Twist it, pull it, punch it. So we might have our first okra harvest soon, which that would be really exciting. Our peppers are doing awesome. If you look at this pepper plant, it's got 8 peppers on it right now. And that's just off of one pepper plant. I believe this is a jalapeno pepper plant. But you can see that some of them look different. These ones kind of look like round balls. So they're really cool. Some more big ones down here. Some of them don't have any. So that's been interesting to watch as well, because they were mostly planted at the same time. I believe these are bell peppers. I think the round ones are the habanero. And then this is our left side, which I had mentioned that I was a little nervous about, but they are starting to take off. Lots of flowers on them, and then there's a couple bigger ones in here too. The tree's trying to grow. So we've really been blessed about how many produce we've been getting from our garden. It's been really nice. I would say we've moved to about 75% produce, if not more, that we just grow in our garden and consume. We're not having to buy very much from the grocery store, so that's been really awesome. And we also have our front garden, which I might do a little mini video later in the week, and that's got strawberries and a couple more tomatoes and a few other things in there. But that'll wrap up today's video. So until next time, we'll see you then.